Never in my life did I imagine I would become one of those women. One of the ones who hides bruises beneath makeup, who flinches at loud voices, who smiles on the outside while screaming on the inside. But abuse doesn't come in like a storm. It creeps in like fog quietly, slowly, until you're drowning before you even realize you're in danger. I met him when I wasn't looking. He was everything I thought I wanted. Charming, attentive, protective. He made me feel special, like the only person in the world who truly mattered. And I believed him. I fell hard, fast, and with both feet. The early days felt like a dream. Flowers, love notes, long talks. His attention felt like love, but it wasn't love. It was control dressed in romance. Then came the subtle changes, the discomfort in his eyes when I wore something he thought was too revealing, the way he'd sulk when I spent time with friends, the constant questions: where were you? Who were you with? Why didn't you answer faster? At first, I thought it was just love expressed through jealousy. I thought maybe he just cared too much. But soon, that care began to feel like a cage. The arguments started over small things: my clothes, my friends, my job. Then came the insults, disguised as jokes at first, then sharper, more personal. You're lucky I even want you. No one else would put up with you. And I believed that too, because by then, he had chipped away enough of my confidence that I didn't recognize myself anymore. I stopped laughing. I stopped confiding in people. I isolated myself to protect him, and to protect the image of our perfect relationship. The first time he punched a wall next to my face, I told myself it wasn't abuse. He didn't hit me. It was just the wall, just frustration, just a bad day. The first time he hit me, he cried. He dropped to his knees, told me he was sorry, that he loved me, that it would never happen again. And I wanted that to be true, so I stayed. But it did happen again, and again, and again. Each time, the pain got worse. And each time, the apologies. After a while, it wasn't just the physical wounds that hurt, it was the constant fear. The way I tiptoed through life, always trying to guess his mood, always trying to avoid setting him off. I was a shadow of the woman I once was. I avoided mirrors, avoided friends. I lied to my family, covered up my injuries, and told stories that no one truly believed. Deep down, I knew I wasn't safe. But fear is a powerful chain, and abusers know how to use it. Until one night when everything broke. He had hit me worse than before. I was curled up on the bathroom floor, bleeding, shaking, whispering to myself over and over, "This can't be my life." And in that moment, something inside me snapped, or maybe it woke up. I didn't know how I would leave. I just knew I had to. I reached out to one friend. Just one. The only person I trusted not to judge me. And she helped me make a plan. She found a shelter, helped me pack a bag, drove me away with tears in her eyes and strength in her heart. I left with almost nothing: a few clothes, a shattered heart, and a body that still shook in fear. But I left, and that was the beginning of everything. People think leaving is the hardest part, and in many ways, it is. But what comes after is the real battle. The nightmares, the guilt, the inner voice that sounds like his, whispering, "You made him do this." I questioned myself constantly. Was it really that bad? Did I overreact? That's the cruel trick of emotional abuse. It lingers. Even when the bruises fade, the shame clings to your skin. But I kept moving forward inch by inch. Some days, the greatest victory was just getting dressed. Other days, it was walking outside without looking over my shoulder. I started therapy. I started journaling. I began reconnecting with the pieces of myself I had buried to keep him happy. I remembered what it felt like to breathe without fear, to laugh without apology, to exist without walking on eggshells. I stopped asking permission. I stopped hiding and pretending, outgrowing the darkness, making coffee without panic, choosing clothes without fear, answering a phone call without dread. I outgrew the version of myself that thought love meant sacrifice. I outgrew the voice in my head that told me I was weak for leaving. Outgrew the silence that kept me small. And then came the hardest choice of all: justice. Facing him. I didn't do it out of revenge. I did it to reclaim my power. I reported him. I handed over every photo, every voicemail, every message. I gave my testimony shaking, terrified, but unbroken. I stood in court and looked him in the eye. And this time, I wasn't the one who was afraid. He was. He was found guilty. He faced the consequences of what he had done, not just to me, but likely to others, because abusers rarely stop with one, and for the first time in a long time, I felt something return. Power. And no longer a victim. I stopped being his victim the day I chose myself, but I became his reckoning the day I stood up and said, no more. He wore a mask in public, charming, smiling, likable, but now everyone sees him for what he really is. I didn't speak out just for me. I did it for every woman who's been told to stay quiet, for every woman too scared to leave, for every woman who doesn't think she's worth saving, because she is, because you are. To anyone going through this, I know the fear, the shame, the exhaustion. I know how heavy it feels to carry this kind of pain, but I need you to hear me. It is not your fault. He didn't hurt you because you were weak. He hurt you because he needed to feel powerful. But he is wrong about you. You are stronger than you know. You don't have to stay silent. You don't have to stay stuck. And you don't have to keep pretending this is normal. There is help. There is hope. There is life on the other side of this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one step, even if it's a small one. Tell someone. Reach out. Make a plan. And if you're not ready today, that's okay. Just know that the day you are ready, the world will be here waiting for you. You are not broken, you are becoming. One day, you'll wake up and realize your laughter is real again. Your skin feels like yours again. Your eyes sparkle again. You'll look back not in shame, but in pride. Because you didn't just survive something unthinkable. You rebuilt your life from the ashes. You are not broken. You are powerful. You are worthy of love, the kind that never hurts, never belittles, never makes you feel small. And no matter what they took from you, they did not win. You're still here. You're healing. And you're never ever alone. Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on abuse.